Hello, this is Paramjeet Singh. Welcome to another episode of Passing Clouds podcast. Today I'm going to talk to you about motivational speeches. Are they overrated or do they serve any purpose? We all have gone through certain phases in our life where we need a little bit of pick me up from another person, but do they really work the way these talks and speeches claim to work? Apart from the obvious, there are a few drawbacks which I want to invite you to keep in mind or explore even. One, when you're listening to motivational speakers, especially if you have to listen to those things very frequently and for everything you want to achieve in your life, then you're running on a borrowed wisdom. Even if the speaker is truthful, you cannot repeat their life. You don't get a chance to replicate their life. Even if they have been successful, you do not get the inside story of their life. Second, by constantly looking for cues from others, you miss what may be really and truly important to you. It gives you a false impression that if you follow the same tips, tricks, and pathways, you should be able to create the success story that is being presented to you. It leads you astray from your own purpose for living. And your own self worth will be anchored on the external accomplishments inspired from some external sources and markers. It also exposes you to the possibility of less than satisfied life, even if you have worked hard and achieved considerable success. These are some of the few drawbacks if you have to listen to motivational speeches, especially repeatedly for the things we need to do or accomplish in our life. What I suggest instead, try to do the followings. Cultivate your own wisdom by looking into your own needs and wants. Be faithful to whatever life asks of you. Take a long term view of your life. Resist short term thinking. We make a lot of mistakes when we settle for short term goals because short term goals are often driven by short term thinking. We sometimes make the mistake of getting into the emotional aspect of the decision making. Too much focus on short term goals makes us less resilient and tolerant to failure. It's worth mentioning that less tolerant you are to the failure, less probability you would have to succeed. Even though it sounds cliche, but the fact is that the more you try, the more the probability of success goes up. It lets you have your motivation come from looking at a big picture of life. And that will make you more resilient, more tolerant to failures, and more open to successes that come from repeated trials. Take time each day to connect with your own inner self. Let it be a guiding force in motivating you appropriately. So, are motivational speeches overrated? It depends. These might be helpful and useful to provide you occasional pick me up when you are going through a rough phase. But if you need to do it every day to power through the life, then you need to pause and reflect on its need and recalibrate your goals in alignment with your own inner needs. Otherwise, you run the risk of exposing to dissatisfaction, burnout, and other mental health issues. So try it. Instead of listening to motivational speeches every day, see if you can log into yourself, identify your own needs, work on the challenges, find inspiration from your own life. Because if you find inspiration from your own life, you're more likely to succeed in that life. Otherwise, you run the risk of living someone else's life. And even if you live it well, it still will not be yours. If you like this podcast, please like, share, subscribe. As always, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Be well and stay well.